You think somebody, if somebody paid for like, I know I talked about this, but man, this is really do you think somebody would pay 5 races for a person to race each year or for a year just to have them, like not be on the racing side of things, but have them in their personal life, telling them what to do, or telling them who they can talk to or who they're not allowed to talk to? Because I want to clarify some shit. I feel like that's what's going on with somebody, and I feel like that's the big deal going down. And you know, I've got a lot of questions and stuff I'd like to have answered and stuff because I feel really like let down on some shit, man. I feel like I seen somebody one time at a Walgreens like 2 blocks away from where I lived, and this person looked oddly familiar. She looked like it was this girl. She turned around and blew me a kiss. She blew me a kiss, and uh, I'm gonna be clear. I ain't no dog, and then like you ain't no dog putting him out of his misery or some shit like that. And I had a lot of shit go down and shit, man. I don't know if I know it sounds crazy and shit, but I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. I don't know if somebody if like infected me with a dirty needle or with something within inside of a needle or what the deal is, cause I woke up one day and I wasn't feeling right, and I kind of felt a pain in my groin area and stuff like this, and it was kind of like, I don't know, it was a day or something later, and I know this is kind of strange, all right, but check this out, because you can lie to a person, but you can't lie to an animal. I had my cat, my little kitty cat, is a little bitty one, and I had it sitting on the edge of a it was sitting on the edge of a bar stool, right? It was just sitting there looking at me and just watching me. I had a piece of paper in my hand, okay, and I was walking around the room. And I walked around the room and I had this piece of paper in my hand. Well, the little kitty cat was like, it kind of and I didn't have it pointed towards it. I just had it right out in front of me, right in front of my hand. And it kind of squinted its eyes and kind of ducked its head a little bit. And I was thinking, I was like, what is wrong with you, kitty? I don't smack you on the head with no piece of paper and nothing like that, or I don't know, rolled up newspaper or whatever. I don't smack him with nothing in my hand like that. And dude, the cat was like, my kitty was sitting there like, it was like it was scared or something, or like somebody had did some shit like that to it. And it had its eyes closed down, and it had its head down and had its eyes squinted. And I was like, yo, what the hell? What the hell's going on? And dude, it makes me think that somebody came into my house or something, or came into my apartment and, like, I don't know, man, did something to me in my sleep or some shit. And you know, I seen no girl in there talking about like, she kept on saying like she playing a game and shit. Well, first off, it started off her talking about being an assassin or something like that, and she had her voice was trembling and shit. And she's kind of or like, uh, yeah, I'm an assassin. And I don't know what the hell was about it, man, but it was like she was saying some shit that she didn't want to be saying. And this is Natalie Decker I'm talking about. And a few months later, or I don't know, 4 or 5 months later, she's on there playing with this dude named Salty or something like that, which is a whole other story. But she basically took his concept, or she took my concept of everything going on with me and shit, and she tried to make it like that was him or something like that. And dude, I don't know if they was over there like at Christmas or something, sitting around saying, "Yo, what's up, Kev?" Like, calling him Kevin and shit, like acting like this dude was myself or something. And she talked about him going and living in an apartment, his mom coming and getting his clothes and washing them, him working as a construction worker, him being a big time construction dude. And it's something about this name, Timothy Glisman Jr. I don't even know if this is a dude's real name for real. And she got her boyfriend on there like looking like his birthday is like 11/21 whatever. I don't know if his birthday is 11/21 or not. Like, I know mine's 11/22, which right now today is my birthday. So like, hearing this, like, wish me a happy birthday and pray for me, because I found out the other day that I might, I got lymphoma and stuff. I might have lymphoma. They're thinking I do, and they're saying that it could be cancer. It's a It's a collection of white blood cells inside of your lymph nodes, and so I'm dealing with a whole lot of shit right now and a whole lot of stuff. And I know I'm probably sounding kind of wild and crazy and stuff like this, but I don't know, man. I got this feeling of somebody acting like, like somebody's trying to like put somebody out of their misery or something, dude. And I hope and pray to God that that's not what this is, because if somebody coming in and doing something to people in their sleep while they asleep, and like trying to infect them with something, because she was on there with this little vial talking about talking about this as a chemo drug or something like that, but it's not like that, or talking about how she don't have cancer, but it's a chemo drug. And I don't know if she was doing this all because of this Thor: Love and Thunder or whatever, with Jane Foster on there, and having Jane Foster, like with the needle and stuff like that, or I mean with the cancer on there. And she was sitting there like had that on there and was playing like this was months and months prior to all this coming out, and I don't know if they was playing it like this was and that was or whatever, but just like the Top Gun Maverick and shit, like with the four fighter jets and shit like that, and having people having Maverick come in there and kind of teach people how to teach the squad what to do and stuff like that. And dude, I know it's a wild concept, but I don't know, man. It like this girl was saying bye, bye. She kept on saying bye and bye and bye, and like I don't know what. There's something kind of funny about all this shit, and it just kind of freaks somebody out, And I gotta speak on it. I gotta talk about it. And she was saying bye, bye, stuff like that, and doing this whole boyfriend shooting her girlfriend up with a needle and shit. And dude, I felt like she was like portraying me, or she was like acting like she was playing as me, because I do these whole emoji thing or emotes and stuff, like one emote, another emote, one emote, another emote, and she would do shit like that too. And like she would take one picture, this picture, and this picture, and like 101 and shit like that, like what I fuck with and shit, heavy. And we got like Plant Fuel, which is endorsed by all these rappers and shit and all this other stuff. We got this thing, and I was on here like with this whole Red Street Records, man. And I was kind of thinking like, yeah, it's a Christian band or whatever, or Christian music or whatever, but Red Street Records, like RSR, and I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, kind of Red Street Records, like like spraying a red, like red, like fucking shooting somebody or some shit like that, spraying red. And it just got me thinking, like I don't know if somebody, and Natalie coming out with this video or something of her unveiling her stock car or whatever with the Red Street Records on it, and having these red lights inside of it, and this smoke going and stuff like that. Well, it went much longer after that, like a couple days, as a matter of fact. This Pooh Shiesty video came out with C Red, and like they driving down this Maybach with some girls in the back of it, and there's red lights inside of it too. So I'm sitting here thinking, man, is this something to do with like 1017? Is this something to do with like what's going on with that? And dude, I don't know if this girl's like upset because she feels like she's got other stuff going on in this world, and she wants to like take pictures or something. Maybe she wants to get some damn attention from it or something, and she feels like she can or something because she thinks I'm going to see something, I'm going to know something. Hey, look, that ain't my fault. Like, you get on there and post whatever the hell you want to post. I don't really care. Post this, post that. If you're with this person, that person, post it. I come to this girl, man, trying to get her to, want to work with me or want to be cool with me. And dude, I don't know if somebody took 5 little races and threw it her way and told her that she couldn't like talk to me or she couldn't fuck with me. I don't know why they say that for, but yeah, like of course, you don't tell people what to do in their personal life. You don't tell them that they can't talk to people. You don't tell them that they're not allowed to talk to people, or tell them where they have to go or who they have to hang out with, who they have to talk to, or who they have to talk to. Yeah, and sitting there making it like like when you pay for a race car, you're paying for the race car. You're paying for the person to come and race this car. You're not paying for what they do in their personal life or who they talk to or who they're allowed to talk to. That's their personal life. Their personal life is not the same as their racing life or racing a stock car. You can be, you could think yourself as a car owner, but you're not an owner of a person. You know what I mean? And dude, I don't know if somebody thought that this girl should be with somebody like somebody different, or should be with a certain type of person, or they see her with this person but yet they see me with this person, and acting like, well, if it's good enough for you to do but it's not good enough for me to do, then there's a problem. Like, if it's good enough for Natalie or you to fuck with Natalie but it's not good enough for me to fuck with Natalie, then there's a problem, right? Like, me and this girl, man, we should have been fucking chilling, hanging out, going and doing stuff. And I know, you don't just plop yourself in there, right? You got to start somewhere. You got to start here, you got to start there, you got to start somewhere and get to know somebody. Man, we should have been riding around like bumping some Jack Harlow. We should have been riding around listening to some music, or even, dare I say, listen to some 1017, listen to some, CMG, listen to some shit, and going around and having a good old time with it. And this whole time, dude, I wish I would have had her over there, and I wish I'd have been like telling her, like, hey, yo, you seen Peacemaker and shit, right? You seen Peacemaker? Well, why ain't you on there like promoting Peacemaker? Like, why ain't you on there promoting the show and telling people about the show and showing them love, showing Peacemaker love and shit? Why can't you be like that? Like, I'd be asking her that shit. Like, why can't you promote Peacemaker? And dude, I don't know. Other things, man. Like, I get the whole Top Gun Maverick and shit. That's fine. Promoting that, that's fine. But, I don't know what is wrong with this girl, man. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if she thinks there's something wrong with me. Or I don't know if she thinks that there's something psychologically wrong with me, or physically wrong with me. Like, I slipped and fell when I was 19 years old on a kitchen floor. And I had a bunch of pans stacked in my hand, and I was walking across the floor there, and I slipped and landed right on my tailbone. And I'm talking about landed so hard with weight in my hands, a bunch of weight, like 40, 50 pounds of pans in my hands. I slipped and fell so hard that, it was one of those times where most people, dude, especially girls or anything, man, they would literally sit there and have tears rolling down their eyes. I'm talking about that kind of hard of a fall. And I was kind of sitting there for a second, kind of laid there. I didn't land setting up. I kind of landed setting up and landed kind of laying down too. So it was like right on my lower spine and shit. And I fucked something up bad, really bad. And it's been like that ever since I was 19 years old. And I'm 35 now. I just turned 35 today. That's 15 years. 15 years of having to do this, having to sit around in pain every single day and deal with this shit. And so, yeah, like, I've had to do things in life and stuff like that, and with like, opioid crisis in America and stuff like that, and they're talking about, pain medicine and stuff like that. It's so difficult for people to get it nowadays that it's almost impossible to get. Doctors don't want to give people that are suffering through pain, they don't want to give them medication, they don't want to take care of them, they don't want them to sit around and live pain free. And so things like that, man, yeah, I had to deal with every single day. I have to deal with severe, not acute, that's small. I have to deal with severe lower back pain every single day from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And I've did everything, man. I've did setups, I've tried to work my lower back. Every time I go to do a setup and shit, I can feel like something cracking or something rubbing, like bones grinding together. And I know that that's not right. I can't sit down in a seat. It's hard for me to sit down in a seat for like 45 minutes or an hour before I have to get up and kind of, stretch out and move around. And every time I go to the doctor, man, they keep on telling me that there ain't nothing wrong, or it's kind of bad, it's okay, I don't know, this and that. They don't want to show me nothing. They don't want to let me know nothing. And it's all because of like pain. Like, they want me to sit around live in pain, and they don't want me to have no medicine for it. And that's not right, man. They didn't invent this stuff for people to sit around without it. And, scientists and shit made this under the assumption that in 70 years you're going to fall and hurt yourself. And, with the turn of the century coming around, and things like Jackass and things like stunt videos and dirt bike and motorcycle videos and all this other shit coming around, and it being, the internet coming around and stuff, not only do you have regular people in pain from just everyday things and, stuff they heard at work and shit like that, you've got extra pain from the internet, watching videos, all this other stuff, and you got people, they talk about an opioid crisis. It's not an opioid crisis, it's a pain crisis. We have a lot of people in America that's in pain, and we've took this concept of having a doctor that cannot jump theirself into another person's body, cannot set theirself down into another person's body, and they literally have no idea what this person is going through. It could be so severe that you couldn't even get up out of bed, and this person has to live with it every single day. They have to get used to it. They've gotten to where they're used to it, but it's never gone away. It's always there. And if you can't go to the doctors and have them tell you what's wrong with you because they're too scared of you having medicine, then how are you ever going to get it fixed, or how are you ever going to get it worked on, or how are you ever going to have surgery and hopefully get it fixed one day? So, I mean, you got these things, man. You got people on the internet just lying about people, lying about them, and making them, like talking dirty about them and talking shit about them and stuff like that. And like to me, to myself, and here I am, a person that ain't did nothing wrong to nobody, has never bothered nobody, has never hurt nobody, has never, been any type of way to anybody, dude. Nobody. And, you know, here I am, somebody ain't got nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with me other than my back pain, and nothing physically wrong with me, anything like that. And, don't think of me as somebody that you're putting like a damn dog out of his misery or some shit like that. Think of me as somebody that has severe back pain and needs medicine, and the doctors won't give him his medicine. And, this is wrong, dude. It's wrong. Like I said, they didn't invent this shit so some doctor could tell you that you can or can't have it. This stuff should be like, this should be like given to people over the counter. You should be able to go buy it at a store. And people has took these names, man, on the side of a bottle, and they've let these names scare them. Things like, like this drug or this medicine or this medicine. They've let these names scare them, like politicians and stuff. It's let them scare them and think that this is a powerful sedative or this is a powerful drug or something like that. And you want to know the real reason with all this shit? The reason it is, the reason that it's abused, or the reason that it's, there's addiction to it and stuff like that, is because it's hard to get. It's hard for people to get, so they feel a need to abuse it and stuff like that. And here I am, a person that has really did nothing in his life, has never really did any kind of big, hard, over the top kind of drugs. I've never shot up heroin. I've never did I've never did methamphetamines. I've never did anything like that to that level. And here I am, I've never in my life put a needle in my arm that was not given to me by a doctor or not given to me by a medical professionalist. And now here I am dealing with something to do with blood. Like I don't have stuff like that. I don't deal with stuff like that. I've not had a cut, or I've not had a open wound or nothing in years, literally years. So, I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I don't think I've ever had a cat scratch me. I don't think I've ever had this or this or this, and I don't think that that's anything that would be a problem to begin with. But if I ever had, I'd go completely wash my hand, with antibacterial soap and run it under water and just clean it out really good, and peroxide and alcohol, whatever I have handy, to make sure that it's completely cleaned out and stuff like that. But it's a whole other story, man. I feel like I got this big conspiracy theory of stuff going on and stuff that I just don't know about, and it's sad. It really is, because I didn't ask for none of it, man. I didn't ask for nobody to treat me this way, and I sure shit didn't ask for nobody to look at me a specific way. And if you look at me a specific way and you think that you're just trying to take care of somebody, or you're trying to look out for them and shit, the whole concept of somebody doing something and not ever getting nothing for it, or the whole concept of them, constantly getting let down, like doing this, and this, and then getting let down, doing this and this and this, and getting let down. Well, eventually you're gonna get tired of stuff, man. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna want to do something else. You're gonna want to, make new friends. You're gonna want to be friendly to people, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with making new friends. There's nothing wrong with being friendly to somebody. And I've did this and this and man, I feel like people come in and try to corrupt a person or try to, tell them some shit or try to get them to think something or think something negative about a person instead of just coming to me and talking to me like person to person, matchstick to matchstick. Like, I'm talking like just everything physically about a person just completely gone. And it's just the person, not girl to boy, not nothing like that, just person to person. And not nothing about physical or anything like that. Like I'm just a dude, right? I'm just a guy. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty relaxed. I'm pretty easy to get along with. I'm pretty easy to understand. It's not a very difficult thing, man. I'm just a dude. And I wish people would have treated me more like a dude. I wish people would have treated me more like a guy, And I don't know, man. This shit has been really scary to me and shit, and dealing with this cancer and shit, or the idea of me having cancer or something like that is really scary to me because of everything playing out the exact way that it's played out, and except for one little thing, dude, this whole cat, man, this whole animal thing, and the whole idea of somebody smacking my cat with like a folder, or smacking my cat with a piece of paper or rolled up newspaper or something, and doing something to the person while they're asleep, man. I hope and pray to God we ain't doing shit like that. But I remember one time I was at this old apartment, and this like the landlord and shit, man. He was inside this vent right beside my bedroom, and he was in there like it was like he was hammering away or something, or putting something, like I don't know if he's putting something in there or what, but it was almost like he was almost coming inside my apartment. He was almost inside my bedroom, dude. And it was almost like I could see him. Like that's how close he was to inside this vent. I don't know what he was doing in that vent for so long, hammering this or hammering that. But man, I don't know if they put something in there like a damn, something to do with sedatives or this or that. I don't know, man. I know it sounds crazy and shit, but I don't know if they was doing this and having somebody come sleep with me or come, stay with me or something while I was asleep. This shit is just really, really scary. And, for all this to happen and me to wake up and I have severe groin pain and, like I said, a day or two later, I'm walking around with a piece of paper in my hand just cleaning up my apartment. And my cat is sitting there at the end of the bar and he just, like he always does, he's always sitting there. It's just a really common place for him to sit, right there just looking at me doing stuff. And I had this piece of paper right out in front of my hand. I didn't have it pointed towards him or nothing. And I was just walking around with it. And I looked over at him and he was squinting with his eyes and had his head dug down. Like somebody had smacked him on the head with a piece of paper. Now, I don't do that to that cat. I've never in my life smacked him with a piece of paper. And I don't know if they're doing this shit to this poor girl and trying to get her to fucking think she did something to me or, did this or that to me. And I'm scared to death, man, because like I said, she's on there talking about bye and all this other stuff, and she's on there, and I wouldn't care if the government told you to do some shit. You don't have to do it. Nobody told you that you had to do it. But anyways, this bye and all this other stuff, and having this dude, man, having this Tim dude. I don't know if people was feeding him money or getting him to go, like feeding him money to be nice to her, be cool with her. Man, that's some bullshit for real. It really is. And you think it's funny or not funny, but having him go to one of her races and shit like that, when they knew that that's what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to be like that with her, and I wanted to be chill with her. And I thought that everything I was doing towards her and shit was such a positive thing. It was such a positive way of me being, to where it was positivity. I felt like it was literally positivity for me to be in there. And people, man, was cool with me. I was so cool inside her little stream there and inside her little chat there. People was nice to me. They sent me friend requests on like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and shit like that. It was so cool with me. Everybody was cool with me and all this other stuff and being really chill with me, dude. And I think this girl, Natalie, man, she was watching me really hard. She was paying attention to all this shit. Or somebody was, and I think it was her, for real. She was watching me really, really close and paying me a lot of attention. And here she is, it's just like she I swear to God, I think she likes me. She just doesn't know how to say it. Or, she thinks I'm pretty chill and shit. She just doesn't know how to be about it. And, I'm sitting here like, I don't know, dude. I'm sitting here just jawing on. But it's like, yeah, it's like she didn't care for me. She knew I liked her, and she didn't care she didn't care one bit for her to be cool with me. But I don't know if she was just too scared to be cool with me, or she was too scared that somebody was going to be mean to her because she was cool with me, or she thought that I had to go do something else, or I should be doing something else. No, honey, I can do whatever I want to do. Like, if I want to come over and talk to you or be cool with you, I should be able to be cool with you. And she's on there drinking beers, man, chugging beers, doing all this stuff, man, uh, going and getting this farmhouse, and her with the overalls on, her, getting this Mercedes and shit. And the funny thing about the Mercedes, dude, is that's something that I never told nobody. I never said that out loud, or I never put it on the internet or nothing. That was only something I said to myself. And I said, man, I thought, yeah, you look good driving in a Mercedes. You look good in a Mercedes. And dude, out of all the cars in the world she got was a Mercedes. And, she on there talking about, like I said, her having this whole concept of the Tim dude being me, this whole concept of her boyfriend being me, this whole concept of this, like why she was friends with Kaz Grala or whatever. I think, dude, one day she was sitting around scrolling down scrolling down some shit or something, and maybe she asked her mom or something like, "Hey, yo, mom, like, you think I could be friends with this dude? Like, you think I could be cool with him?" And I don't know, maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. And then to sit there and, have it to where, she's like, well, if it's about this person, if it's for this person, then maybe we should get him to come over, and we can be cool and stuff, and take a picture together or something like that, like we starting to be friends and stuff. And here it is, a couple years later or something like that, and I just see her name randomly on like during a race or something, and it was like the end of 2019, I think, at like Homestead or whatever. And I was watching the race or whatever, and her little name popped up there, right? And I was like, I wonder who that is. I was like, I don't know. She probably pretty cool. And so I went to like, I don't know. I was kind of creeping a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Went to her Instagram or whatever, and I was looking at her, Instagram, and I was like, yeah, she, that's okay. I kind of like that girl. She don't seem too bad. So I threw her a follow. Shit. Like I said, this was the end of 2019, and all of 2020, dude. Like I was watching the shit. I was paying attention. I was watching the cup races. I was watching, the truck races. I was watching. I was just kind of paying attention to all of NASCAR, right? Just watching it, just casually. Really just chilled out and shit like that. Wasn't really concerned with everything. I was doing a lot of shit. I had a lot of shit going on, right? All of 2020, I had a lot of stuff going on. And the end of 2020 rolled around. I'm getting tongue tied. It came around, and here it comes, like, here she was starting this stream, starting these iRaces and stuff like that. And, I just started iRacing and stuff too. And I was thinking, man, this is pretty chill. I could probably be pretty cool with it, or it'd probably be pretty cool to iRace with her. And so, just really chill about stuff, trying to be really, really easygoing about it stuff. And I was like, yeah, I like playing iRacing too, and clean and green, and I'm really good at it, and I know what I'm doing and stuff, and I like putting on a show for people. And so here it was, man. She started doing all these iRaces and stuff, and everything was going smooth and chill and stuff. And dude, in the very beginning, man, she fucking loved it. She was on there all the time, and I was too. I was on there all the time. I was in the races and stuff, and I racing with her and shit. And like one day she just randomly set up this, like, supposed to be this meet and greet stuff at this ice cream parlor, or not at Kroger or whatever, right? And so, dude, I was excited about it. It was like a week before it was supposed to happen, right? I was excited about it, man. I got on fucking, I got on Amazon or whatever. I ordered one of her die casts and shit. I had it shipped to me or whatever. It was shipped to me. I got it. Came over there, took it to her, had her sign it, shit like that, man. I was so like excited. I didn't even sleep for a day or two prior to it. I was so, like I was chill. I was trying to be chill about it, right? I was trying to be cool about it, and I didn't sleep for a day or two prior to it, and I got there like super early. Got there a couple of hours before it even ever even started or whatever, and was just riding around this town, going through stores, walking through stores, chilling, looking at stuff. I'd never been there before, so I was just kind of checking this little, this was kind of a big town, kind of, but just checking it out or whatever, medium size, something like that. But anyways, did all this stuff, man, and I got there, whatever, and as soon as I got there, it was standing in line. There's probably, I don't know, there's probably 20 people in line, 25, and I was down at the very end of it, and man, this guy just he just kind of randomly walked up to me. He's like, started talking to me. He's like, "Yo, what's going on with you? Where are you from?" Like, I told him where I was from. I was like, "I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know where it's at. I know where it's at. Yeah, I'm from here, here, and here, whatever. I'm waiting to see this person, or I'm waiting, who are you waiting to see and stuff like that." I was like, "I'm just gonna see both of them, all right? I just came here for just a second, just to get this die cast here signed, and that's about it." And he was talking about how, yeah, she might show up, she might not. We don't really know. And long story short, man, I got it signed, whatever. Got it signed shit. She's like, "Thanks for buying my car." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, thank you for signing it." And she's kind of paused for a second, and she went ahead and signed it. Took a little picture together there, and everything was chill, man. I didn't have a problem with none of it. Everything was fine and dandy. And dude, it was like it was a really ominous feeling, but this dude, like, and I don't care about shit like that, but it was like this dude and this private security. I know I'm jawing on, but this private security come up here, man. He walked right up here past me, and he turned around and put his back against the wall, and he looked at me and just kind of nodded his head. And it didn't feel like well, it kind of did in a way, because I was thinking, man, is this dude? This dude ain't here for me, right? Like, he's not here for me. I didn't come all this way to sit here and think that I needed some dude around to make sure. Like, what would you think? Somebody's gonna be upset at you or something? Like, I didn't have no reason to be upset. Hell, everything was chill, and so it wasn't no big deal, dude. I understand that there's a lot of people there. I understand there's not, a lot of them around, and you don't know who people are. You don't know how they are, and it was just under the assumption that this is the first time I ever met her. This is the first time I ever met him, or this is the first time I ever met either one of them. So I'm sitting here thinking, man, is this, I know for a fact, dude, right? She didn't set this up for just me, right? She didn't set this up for me to come see her, right? And but and surely to God, oh dude wasn't there for just me, right? And but anyways, man, I didn't stay very long, dude. And I don't know. I have no idea, right? How am I supposed to know? I don't know if it made her upset. I don't know if she got upset. I don't know if she started crying or whatever, man. I ain't saying she did or didn't, but she was sitting. I don't know if old dude was like, "Don't worry, Nelly, we're gonna get back at him. We're gonna get back at him." And so, it wasn't very long after that. That's when this whole salty shit, and Timothy shit, and all this other stuff kind of went down. And I had a dude prior into my life, one of my best friends, man. His name was Timothy too, and he kind of fucking did me wrong and shit, and said some mean shit about me, man. That wasn't like that. It wasn't nothing even remotely like that. It was just total misunderstanding, man. Just a really bad ordeal. And it wasn't a bad ordeal for me. It was just a bad ordeal for them to think, for him to say some shit like that. Like, somebody known your whole life, and then just want to sit around and just randomly talk about somebody or say some shit about them when, it's not like it, dude. I've known you my whole life and shit like that. And to have that go down like that, long story short, but that's in the past, man. You can't really change nothing about the past, right? That's just what it is. It ain't nothing to it. It ain't no big deal to me. It is what it is, and I'll leave it at that. And But for this just to be this coincidence of now this salty dude coming along with Natalie there, and really and truthfully, all I was trying to do is be friendly to her. I was just trying to be a friend to her, man, just be chill with her. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal. You know what I mean? She reminds me of a person, dude, that'll go and get like you imagine somebody like on a damn playground or something, and I'm over here like spitting, I'm over here rapping and shit, and maybe she's there too or something, and maybe I wave at her or something, and maybe she just kind of shy or something. She kind of walks off. Maybe she comes back, and all of a sudden now, she thinks I say something or something, and maybe she thinks I say something the wrong way because it's hard to understand what you say over the internet, right? So maybe she thinks I said something the wrong way or I was acting a certain type of way to her. She reminds me of somebody, man, that go like over on the side of the building or something, and like start crying or something, or like hold her face or hold her head down, and start crying, and then wipe her tears away or something a minute later, and then she come back outside or come back out around front or something like that, and she just go over to some random dude and like give him a kiss or something, like right in front of me, and sit there and think, like, oh, now that's gonna make me jealous and shit, and so yeah, man, to me that's what this was and some shit, like, but girl, I can't, like, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to call you girl, but I cannot be I cannot be held accountable for something that I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't be held accountable for you not being real with yourself or not being honest with yourself or not being honest with how you feel about something. Like, I promise you on everything I love, man, me and this girl being friends was not that big of a deal. It really wasn't. It wasn't that crazy of a concept. Like, I didn't think. I sure as hell wasn't letting no damn little stock car or something stand in the way of it. I mean, you always look at me as somebody that's like a dude that could do it, even though he might not have, or he may not, he may not have got to. You always look at me as somebody that has the capability of doing it. Because I know that I do have the capability of doing it. And I have that about me, that if I got in one and win, I'd get in one and go. But anyways, dude, I would never let something like that stand in the way of getting to know somebody, especially on the kind of level I'm talking about on. Like all this other shit going, like all this wild stuff going on around me and stuff, man. And I like it and stuff, but you can't keep on letting somebody get disappointed and then them keep on going and then disappointed and keep on going and sit around and make them think that they ain't got nothing for it, or they ain't been shown no love for it. And other than that kind of love, right, over the internet, but not never got no love or never got nothing for it. And then to sit there and think that they get disappointed on stuff too on top of that, well, man, they only gonna do that shit for so long. There ain't nobody out there that's up there on the stage performing or nothing and doing it for free. There ain't none of that shit. And the whole concept of everything I'm talking about is, I don't know if people listen to me. I don't know if they listen to me through my phone. I don't know if they listen to certain things with what I'm saying or what I'm doing. I have no idea. But if a person's ever heard me say something or heard me say this or say that, you shouldn't be holding me accountable for something that I don't know that I'm talking to somebody for. If I don't know I'm talking to somebody and I'm talking to myself, just like I am right here right now, if I don't know that, then you shouldn't be holding something accountable or hold me accountable for something that you think that I said or something you think you heard me say. Right? Because no, you didn't hear me say it. I just said it just to see if anything was going on. I just really just said it just to see if I noticed it on the internet or if I noticed anything change. And dude, I don't know what all this shit is. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm speaking on it, and I should be able to speak on it. I should be able to talk on it. You can think of this like a little podcast or something, or me just talking or speaking my mind. And yeah, I'm kind of scared and shit, man, and I would be too. But I know I talk about this girl a lot and shit, man. I don't mean to, but I always want her to know, man. I'm just a regular dude. I'm just a cool dude. I mean, I try to be as cool as I can. But you didn't ever have nothing to fucking fear with me. You didn't never have nothing to worry about me. I can talk and explain my stuff explain myself just as much as anybody else could. And it's very easy for me to hold a conversation with somebody and get them to understand me. And I'm not a difficult person to get along with. I really ain't, especially at the core. You know, my core character, my core person. And if I know of a person just sitting here or if I'm sitting here talking to a person and they're talking to me a certain way, I'm going to talk to you a certain way, and I'm going to be like that to you. It's just what it is. I'm going to be the same way that you're being with me. And it doesn't have to be a big ordeal. It doesn't have to be a scary thing. Having a conversation with somebody is not that bad of a thing. Especially if they're providing you entertainment or they're providing you excitement or they're being interesting to you and it's a positive experience for you. Like I know for a fact that it was a really positive thing, me being around, uh, helping you out, and making you better, making you stronger, making you uplifting you. And then for me to for you to just be so kind of, no offense, but just kind of be a little childish on some stuff and being a little bratish on some stuff. I'm not trying to be that way, but just to be that way on some stuff, man, and make it out like it's such a big thing for me to sit there and be friend, like for us to be friendly to one another. Everything in the world, man, pointed to yes on this. Everything in the world pointed to yes for us to have been cool with one another. I mean, I know that you do this for a living, and I know that a lot of people might not get to do this, but on the real, man, I would have been if I was with you, or if I was, like your boyfriend or some shit. I would have told you. I would have been like Natalie, it wouldn't have hurt nobody in this world for you to been, a little bit more friendly to people, or for you to be a little bit more nicer to people. I mean, I know you do what you do, but there's people outside of it. Even though these two people right here that you got in your circle, they ain't in it. They not in NASCAR. So it's cool or it's okay for them to do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Like, nah, it shouldn't be like that. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, man, there's all kinds of people in this world that's a positive person or a positive role model, or just a really positive that can know what they're doing or know what they're speaking on or know how to speak or know the do's and don'ts of talking to a person. And it's kind of hard to get to understand what a person's talking about over the internet, especially if they're just trying to be funny or they're just trying to crack a joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a deal, man. But I know I've jawed on long enough, and I know this video gonna be long enough. It's probably be like 10 gigabytes or something like that. It's gonna be a long video, but like I said, I just spoke on some shit, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if people are doing some shit behind my back. I don't know if Natalie's, trying to act like she's a damn assassin or some shit like that. But I don't think this shit's funny at all, man. I don't think it's funny one bit. And you know, um, I don't know why she's sitting around saying bye, bye. I don't know why she's sitting there having her boyfriend poke her with the needle, talking about taking a chemo drug when I'm pretty sure it was like her best friend, right? Her best friend sitting there going through breast cancer stuff. And I don't mean to speak on something that is none of my business, but her best friend going through all this shit and stuff like that, and actually having to have real chemo and having to have stuff like that go down. And here I am, with the possibility of having to do it myself. And, you know, no offense to her, and I know she probably didn't mean it that way, but she was so adamant on letting people know that it was chemo. It was a chemo drug. And dude, I don't know if she was doing this shit for some like, Thor: Love and Thunder, with some Marvel and stuff, because I fuck with Marvel heavy. I fuck with a lot of movies, and I don't mean to be sitting here and cussing and stuff, but I like Marvel, I like Disney, I like all of them. I've liked the Marvel movies for a very, very long time. I'm pretty much a day one, like all the way back to Iron Man 1 and first Iron Man. And you know, to go this long and stuff, man, and having things like that movie, Venom 2 coming out, or Venom 2 coming out, or when it came out, Sonic 2 coming out, um, having Thor: Love and Thunder come out, have Top Gun Maverick coming out, and here we are, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, it coming out with you know with this Crown Raceway and shit, man. That shit we should been on there rocking that shit. We should have been playing it, and all this other stuff, man. And feeling like I missed out on something, feeling like I missed out on an opportunity or experience that should have been mine. That I feel like you should have kind of gave back to me if I help put you on, or if I help put you, help give you some clout, or help put you on with some shit. Like, don't you think like it wouldn't have been? You don't think it'd been nice to have been friendly to me too? And I hope to God, man, it wasn't a scenario where like you were supposed to have done something like that, or you were supposed to have been like that with me, but yet you just went and did it with somebody else or something because you didn't think you could do it with me, or you didn't think you could be like that with me. Like, you talking about one of the easiest dudes in the world to get along with, one of the easiest dudes to understand, likes to throw down, likes to party, likes to drink some beer, uh, likes to drink whiskey, like, likes to do all these things. And you know I'm not 90 years old. I'm 35 years old, and this girl's 25 years old. That's just 10 little years. And uh, theoretically speaking, girls tend to act a little bit more mature than guys. And so you look at some shit like maybe you 5 years older and I'm 5 years younger, and we both 30. And it's funny, dude, because she act this way, but yeah, you ever seen her house or her home, man? And it looking like she living like a 40-year-old. You don't see no posters on the wall. You don't see no kind of stuff on the wall. She probably thinks shit like that look tacky. She probably thinks that kind of tacky to have that on her wall and stuff like that. And I got posters all throughout my apartment. I got them all throughout my bedroom and shit like that, because that's just my style. That's what puts me in the zone, so to speak, and that's what gets me you know my sauce and stuff. But yeah, dude, this girl, man, she is not some 19-year-old girl, or she's sure, she's not like that at all. And like I said, she like 25, but she probably act more like she's 30 or even 35. And that's the strangest thing about all this is that I'm not really concerned with what a person acts like on the internet. I'm more concerned with how they are in real life, or how they are away from the internet. You can get on the internet and act all kinds of ways. You can get on the internet and know that the camera's on, or know that somebody's watching you, and you can be a certain type of way, and then you can get right off the internet and just be a totally different person. Be, extremely opposite ends of how you was while you was streaming. And man, this girl, I think she's just obsessed with somebody not knowing her, or not knowing anything about her and stuff like that. And instead of being that way, man, like, yeah, it would have been cool for you to been chill people, or for them to get to know you. I don't know what it is she's hiding. I don't know what it is she don't want people to know about her. But you know what I mean? Like, and I ain't saying it's like that, but it's like, there's nothing wrong with people knowing stuff about you. There's nothing wrong with people getting to know you, or getting to know what you like, or getting to know the things you like. And yeah, I don't know, man. I wish I got to know. I wish I got to know her and stuff. I still do, kind of. I wish I got to know her. I wish I was one of the lucky few that did get to know her. And I would have treated it that way too. I swear to God, I would have. I would have treated it the way of like, man, it would have been so cool to be one of the few people that probably got to know you and stuff. But it's not that big of a deal, dude. It really ain't. Just like playing some games with some peeps and shit. It's not really that big of a deal. You meet people all the time on the internet, people you see for a second, and then you don't. But you know what I mean? I ain't that way about some shit. I'm not sitting here crying over no spilled milk. I'm not sitting here upset because I don't know why you was friends with Cascarada, or don't know why you was friends with this person, or don't know why your boyfriend was like this. And I swear to God, man, it feels like this girl has took every person around her and tried to make her out to be me. And I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do. And I don't know why, instead of doing things that way, I don't know why she couldn't just let me be me and just, either got to know me or not got to know me. Like, it's either 100% with me or not at all. And when you ask somebody a question, or a simple question, hell, have the decency enough to answer the question, or at least, say yes or no to them. I mean, like, in the very beginning, man, it wouldn't have been nothing for me to sit there and been like, yo, now I know you do things you do and stuff, but like, like, you want to be friends, or like, you want to be friendly with me, or is it that big of a deal to be friends with somebody? I mean, good gosh. Um, to me, it's not. It's not nothing at all. Like, it don't have to be nothing like so overly complicated or so like overly just one way. Yeah, it could have been something that was very like, casual, just very casual thing, like been off doing this or off doing this, or but I don't know, man. Like I said, I know I talk about this girl. I know I talk about her a lot and stuff like that, but it's just really just a thing, that's kind of bugged me for a long time, and I just wanted to know like what was going on. I just wanted to know what was up, and wanted to know why it felt like she was having so much to do with the person, but yet not wanting to speak to them or not talk to them. Like, why refuse to do that? But I'm probably gonna leave it here and leave it at there, because like I said, this video won't be long enough, but it'll probably be up on YouTube here in a little bit. So, hey, yo, peace and love, and I promise you, it's always gonna be like that, no matter what a person think of me. And hey, I'm easy as fuck to get along with. I'm pretty chill, and it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. I'll at you later.